Be brave because I've overcome the world. Be brave because I've done it already. You have power to make this hand into an ace hand. You are already blessed. You are already chosen. You are already sanctified, holy, and set apart. He chose the foolish of the world to shame the wise. And so when you place your hope on the world and its desires that pass away, then your desires and your heart passes away with it. When you're able to do that, you, like Christ, begin to take heart and overcome the world. Welcome back to a new year of Soul Prophet with your boy, your host, Jeremy. That's my name. I'm so excited to be here and to start off this new year. I know I've been silent. This is the first episode of the new year, and I'm excited for what's coming, I don't know exactly what's coming, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to be coming up with more topics. I got some ideas that I want to start implementing, so there may be some changes on how I do my podcast. Also, I'm working on something that's special. It's a secret, but hopefully it releases soon, and I want you guys to really take a look at it and be blessed with it. But welcome back to 2025. I wouldn't say welcome back because this is the first episode of 2025. We've never been at 2025. But welcome back to Soul Prophet, where we discuss the importance of prioritizing things of the soul before things of the pockets. We understand that money is important, but what's more important is the things of our souls, the things of our minds, and just building ourselves up as people of God. And that's really the focus on this podcast. We'll be taking different types of turns, but the focus and we'll be ending the point at benefiting the soul. So I hope that you take this journey with me as well as we just explore all of this. All right. So now today, February is the month of love and romance and all that stuff. But, I want to talk a little bit about love, but not only in a romantic way, I would say, because a lot of times we limit love to just romance. A lot of TV shows and cartoons, when you think of love, it's like you always think of a couple coming together and their passion for each other. But love is so multifaceted and complex that it requires more thought than just letting your mind go straight to just the romance part, right? And so I want to start off with a verse that I found in Romans chapter 12, verse 10. And we're going to read from the NLT version. Now, the reason why I chose this verse is because it impacted me. A friend sent this verse to a few of us, and I read this in a different light. And it shows how to practically apply love. Romans chapter 12, verse 10, the NLT version says, "Love each other with genuine affection." So how can we love each other with genuine affection? And I think it kind of explains it in this way. It says, "And take delight in honoring each other." Take delight in honoring each other. And so I'm like, you know what? We were in a little group chat, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the time to honor someone. So I chose one of the people in the group chat, and I started to honor them with words, right? Honor them by telling them, how great they are and how much potential they have and what they're good at, and just lifting them up. Because when I think about honoring someone, you can honor someone with a gift and showing how important they are to you. Another way to honor people is to praise them, praise this person. And so when it's hard for us to figure out a way, how do I love someone that I don't have that emotion for? And that's very important, because love is more than an emotion. Think about it. If we think of love being romantic, right? Only, then what if there are moments in your relationship where you don't feel love for this person? You don't feel the chemical of romance bubbling up within, right? You just don't feel it. It's just like something bothered you. And how do you reignite that again? Basically, I'm just trying to say how it can't just be founded on an emotion. Has to be found, it has to be greater than that. And so it says, again, it says, take delight in honoring each other. So I will praise, I will praise the person that you are, the good things about you. I'll, my pastor said this once. He says, you know, love always gives the benefit of the doubt, right? At least that's what I got from what he said. And it always gives the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm not going to allow, I don't want to view this person in a negative lens. I want to view this person in a positive lens. And so I'm going to look at the positives. And in order to honor someone, you got to look at the positives. You got to look at the good things about them. So let's go to Matthew 6:22 real quick. Matthew 6:22 says, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, and then another translation for healthy is generous. If your eyes are generous, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. And the unhealthy is translated also as stingy. And so when we allow the way we view people to focus on the negative, right? And this is how I take this. I know that in the context, it may be talking about other things, but you can apply it to this as well. When you allow your view of people to be unhealthy, right? Then your body, it says that your body is filled with darkness. And even though we might be right about it in a sense, but love overcomes judgment. And so when we allow love to be the lens that we look through, then love or generosity, right, fills our body with light. When anger, rage, hate, when you see it through a negative lens, when you see people through a negative lens, through that lens, or through just a negative lens, then the Bible says that your body's filled with darkness. How great is that darkness? So it's unhealthy to look at people. That's basically what I read. It says unhealthy. It's unhealthy to look at people with negativity. I know that sometimes we want to be like this discerning person, and we think that our discernment is telling us something about this person, about, oh, this is an evil person. But Jesus said, why do you call me good? Like, no one is good except God. So everyone is evil in a sense. But yeah, so love gives the gives the benefit of the doubt. Love decides to look through a positive lens and not through a negative lens. Okay? And there is the Bible verse in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 and 5. Paul writes the famous love chapter. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. Now, this is the NIV version, and in the NIV version, it says it does not dishonor others. It does not dishonor others. So if you're gonna, like I said, if you honor people, to me, honoring someone is to praise them. So to dishonor is to slander them. To dishonor is to talk bad about them. To dishonor is to think bad about them. I know that thoughts just come sometimes, but how do we correct that? How do we correct those thoughts? Yes, there's always going to be somebody that's going to rub you the wrong way. But how do you end that? How do you end that transaction or that feeling that you have or that thought that comes, do you take ownership of it and just allow it to fester, allow it to be your truth and accept it as your own thought? Or do you balance it with the love of God and God's love towards you, right? Love does not dishonor others. And so I make it a point in my life to not dishonor anyone. If this is going to dishonor someone, if I have some reservation towards someone, right? I'm still going to shake their hand because I'm trying to make a point, not to be fake, but to put myself in a situation that I could warm up to someone I probably don't feel too close to. And so I make it a point to put myself in situations where I can be open and available and friendly and kind to people, even if whatever something happens. Because I know all of us have feelings that, well, I'm not going to say all of us, but I know right? Maybe you don't. Maybe you love everyone, but I sometimes come across certain people that rub me the wrong way. And so I try to make it a point to go outside of my comfort zone to love on them in any way I can. And this gives this the first Bible verse that I shared about honoring someone, honoring each other, gives a practical way to do that, to love on someone. It gives a practical way to love on someone. I wrote this earlier in my notes. In order to love without restraint, we must learn to differentiate people's actions from their value. They are valuable whether they act a certain way or don't act a certain way, right? Human beings are valuable regardless. And so we have to be able to differentiate people's actions from their value. They are valuable to me, and their actions don't I don't want to see. It's funny because in the in I don't remember what book, but Paul says, I regard no one according to the flesh. And so he regards people according to the spirit. And so in the inward person is valuable, even though outwardly they may be showing an ugly side of them. And so I want to be able to regard people according to their value and not according to what I'm seeing in front of me. That's the goal, right? And this comes with practice and self-reflection and all of that. One verse that always impacts me is and again, this also I'm going to share a verse that kind of ties all this together, but this also helps with relationships and in marriage as well. Because in marriage, there are moments of conflict. You can't deny it. There are going to be moments of conflict. But how, after this conflict, how am I viewing my spouse? How am I viewing my spouse after conflict? Am I creating a narrative where I'm making them the villain? Or am I continuing to be one with them in marriage? Because they are a part of my flesh. We are the same, we are one in God, right? We are one. We made a covenant. And so to hate her is to hate myself, or to villainize her is to villainize myself. Because the moment I villainize her, I become a villain too. Because that's what villains do. And so look, check this out. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 and 27, reading from the NIV. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. And so Jesus presents her, the church, to himself as beautiful. He presents her. And so husbands should present their wives to themselves as beautiful. Even if there's some sort of conflict in between. Oh, this person doesn't understand me, da 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 da, all of that. I choose to put that to the side for now. We can deal with that. Of course, it's important to deal with things, but I am not going to view my spouse as the villain. I'm not going to view my spouse as the villain. I present her to myself as a beautiful bride, just like Jesus presented us to himself as a beautiful bride. He says, with the cleansing of the word, is funny because in your thoughts is where you begin to villainize people, where you get to begin to demonize people. And it's in your thoughts, and thoughts are just words unspoken. And so I cleanse the word, the thoughts that are in my mind regarding my spouse. I cleanse the thoughts regarding my spouse so that I can present her to myself beautifully still, and not allowing bitterness to make her look different or look unattractive to me, you know? And so that I believe that that's a very impactful way to approach not only in marriage, but this also goes in all types of relationships, right? In marriage, of course, it's more pronounced because you're with this person and you're building a life together. But outside, in all types of relationships, the way I love is to view this person in positive light. That's an action that I do to demonstrate love. Love, we have to learn how to demonstrate love. Love is not just romantic, and love is not just automatic. You can have affection for people that causes you to act, but love is also acted upon too. And so I encourage anyone watching to sit with that and start to realize the way our minds start creating a narrative about people that we may feel threatened by, or that we don't like, and begin to implement ways that you can honor people and you can view people in a positive light. And even those around you who you love, of course, love them not just automatically, not just, yeah, I love them. They know I love them. But what did Jesus say? Do you love me, Simon? Then feed my sheep. Do something if you love me, right? And so if you love your spouse, if you love your friends, if you love this person, show it, honor them, praise them, do something, right? Do something. Faith without works is dead. Show your love. Show your love by your actions. You know, so that's all that I have for you guys today. Again, the month of February is coming with everybody starts talking about love, and that's the theme. But remember to put your love to action. Thank you for watching.